If you've been wondering how to achieve this gorgeous Ankara fitted gown with a beautiful lace yoke and clean silhouette, you are in the right place. And because every beautiful outfit starts with a well-made pattern, in this tutorial I'll walk you through the complete pattern drafting and the cutting process for this beautiful design. I'll also be sharing the techniques I use to achieve a clean professional result. And one thing you can take home is the fact that you're learning how to go about your bustiers with yoke for it to fit perfectly for any size. Now, if you're interested in that, let's dive right in. Now, this is the shoulder line, and I have the space for the front and space for the back. And this part will be the center back, which we'll be talking about later. For now, we are focusing on the front. And from that shoulder, I'm going to measure down to the bust point line, and then down to the under bust and down to the waist, which is the line I already have on my pattern paper. I'm measuring from the shoulder to the bust point, from shoulder to the under bust, from shoulder to the waist. Then I'll go ahead and use my ruler to rule it out just this exact way you see me do it, and label them bust point line, under bust line, waist line. Now on the shoulder line, I'll be marking the shoulder measurement divided by 2, and once I mark that, I'm going to go down to the chest line, which you're going to divide your bust circumference by 6 plus extra 1.5, and then plus 1 inch for your shoulder slope. That's a total of 2.5. I'll mark that as the chest line and then also mark it on this end just so I have a straight line as the shoulder measurement and the chest line on both sides. Once that is done, I'm going to mark the standard neck width, and once I have that, I'm going to come down here to about 1.25 to slope the shoulder and connect it to the neck width like this. Now I'm going to measure from that shoulder slope down to the chest line. I'll get the midpoint, and then on that point I'll be going into half inch. Now on the chest line, I'll be marking the bust measurement divided by 4. Then I'm going to connect from that shoulder tip to that half inch, and then come from that half inch to the bust width this way. The next thing I'll be doing now is to mark the bust span, that is the nipple to nipple divided by 2, and then I will mark it on the waistline and also on the bust point line. Then I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect it like this. This is where we'll be taking in our dart. Then on the waistline, I'll be doing half inch on both sides of this bust span line. That is the dart intake, and that is 1 inch dart intake on the waist. Then I'll take the waist measurement divided by 4 here on the waistline plus that 1 inch dart intake. I'll replace it, and then I'm going to connect from that waist measurement to the bust measurement just like this. The next thing I'll do now is to tighten the under bust, and what you're going to do is to divide the under bust circumference by 4. You're going to mark it on this line, and once you mark it like that, you're going to measure what you have from that point to the side seam line, and then you divide that into 2 equal halves. Now you're going to mark that same value you just divided into 2, following, like, start from the existing dart legs you already have on the under bust. That was that we connected to the bust point line. You're going to start from that point and mark that same value divided into 2, and now you're going to use your curve to curve it on both sides like this. And then after that, you're going to extend the under bust dart to the waist dart on both sides like this. The next thing now is to come down here to the bust dart, and her bust dart value is about 1.5. Yeah, that is the difference between her front length and the back length. Then I'll be going up here to 3.5 as her over bust line. You're going up from your bust point to your over bust line, and once you are done doing that, you're going to measure from the shoulder tip to the neck width, get the midpoint and connect it to the bust span you have on the bust point line. Next, we'll be tightening the over bust, and I'll be using 0.75 to tighten the over bust for her. And at this point, you are tightening your over bust depending on your bust size. Not necessarily your size, your bust size depends on how much you're tightening your over bust. But here, I'm doing 0.75 on both sides, which is 1.5 over bust tightening. Then I'm going to extend it to the bust point line on both sides this way. Now the next thing we are going to do is to tighten the yoke, and we are going to take half of what we have here now as the over bust tightening. I have 1.5 here, half of it is going to be 0.75. Now to tighten the yoke, you're going to divide this same 0.75 into 2 again, and that will be giving me 0.375. I'm going to mark this 0.75 on both sides now of this line. Can you see? You're marking 0.3, not It's not standard, depending on what you use to tighten your over bust, depends on how much you're doing here. But since mine is 0.75, that into 2 is 0.375, and that's exactly what I did here. Then the remaining 0.75, you're going to start here and replace it. This time you are replacing the dart. The other one, you use it to tighten the yoke, and then the remaining one you replace it. Then you're going to replace the dart intake you have along this part, just along the chest line, and then you're going to now curve your new armhole from that point to this 0.75 we just replaced here. Can you see what we did? Then later we'll be connecting this other one to the waist after closing the bust dart. The next thing now is to do the neckline, and I'm choosing to go out half inch from the standard neck width. Yeah, then for the neck depth, I'll also be using 3.5 because I don't want it to choke her. Depending on what you want for your neckline, you can decide to maintain that same standard neck width. Yeah, and then once that is done, we are going to come up from the bust point to 1.5 as the depth for the yoke, or better still, start from the shoulder and come down to where you want your yoke to stop. And for me, I did about 8 inches. Now to connect the neckline, we are going to throw the dart legs, and to do that proper, you're going to measure what you have on the side and make sure it is the same length as the center, or better still, you will make the side one to be the same length as the center. That is making it shorter just as the center. Then you're going to just give it a sweetheart curve to that 8 inches you are using as the neck depth. Then you blend this part in to the armhole. Just go ahead and blend it in just as you see me do it here. The next thing now is to start from the neck width and go out 0.75 or 1 inch. But based on request, I'll be maintaining this same midpoint of the shoulder. So I'm going to place my curve like this, and touching that midpoint and the armhole, I'm going to just blend it into the armhole just as you see me do it here. Whichever one you choose to blend it into, either the first one, that's the first armhole we initially have here, and then the second one, either one you choose to do it, just make sure you blend it in to the armhole there. That is the yoke. Do you understand? Now we're going to go over to the back. We'll be coming back to the front later. And for the back, on the shoulder, I'll be marking the shoulder measurement divided by 2. And then I'll go down to the chest line. And on that chest line, I'll mark the shoulder measurement again. Then I'll be marking the standard neck width and the actual neck width. Then come down here to 1 inch as the shoulder slope and connect it to the standard neck width. Now I'm going to come down here to 2 inches as the neck depth. And this time, I'm going to connect it to the actual neck width of 3.5 like this. Now I'm going to measure from that shoulder slope to the chest line, get the midpoint. We'll be needing that to cover the armhole later, but for now we are going to get the back length, and you're going to minus this 1.5 from the length you have as your shoulder to the waistline for the front and use that as the back length. Basically, you're marking your back length to be 1.5 above the line you have as your waistline for the front. Because the bust that value I use there is 1.5, yeah, that's why I'm having it like that. Then on the center back from that waistline, I'll be going up to 3 inches, then come in 0.75 on that point, place my ruler to be touching that 0.75, the waistline and the shoulder line, and just slant it like this. And that is the center back contour line. I'll now start from this new contour line and take the bust measurement divided by 4 on the waist measurement divided by 4. I'm not adding that to this back pattern. So yeah, I am not replacing any that. Then I'll go ahead and connect the two measurements, then curve from the bust width to that midpoint we got earlier. Next, we are following the center back contour line and adding our zipper allowance, and I'm doing 1 inch zipper allowance. Then I'll connect it, and you see that it's just as slanty as the center back contour line. Then you extend your neck depth to that point. Now for the back neckline, that is where the yoke will be sitting here. I recommend that you just maintain your chest line. Initially, I came down 1 inch from the chest line, but then because I'll be adding keyhole to the yoke later, I will just be maintaining the chest line as the back neckline. So from that chest line down will be the Ankara, and then from the chest line upward, that will be the lace. Do you understand? And yeah, I'm going to measure what I have as the shoulder width for the front and use that too here, which I said you're starting from your neck width and you're coming in 0.75 or 1 inch. But because it was requested, I'm using the midpoint we have on the shoulder for the front. That is the same width I'm using now as the shoulder width for the back. Then after blending it to the armhole, you're also going to blend your armhole just so it looks better, because what your pattern is looking like is what your dress is going to come out to be. Then after all of that, you're going to be cutting this out. After cutting the back, you see that I labeled the center back and the top part. I still went ahead to notch the top part and the center back just to help me indicate it when I'm transferring to the fabric. Then we cut out the yoke, and you see that I also labeled it back yoke. For the front, we'll be cutting out the center front this way. Then we slash the bust dart, place it on the bust point line and tape it down. You can use your masking tape, cello tape or water glue. Then you blend in the side seam line, then you cut the rest of the pattern out this way. After cutting this one now, we'll be closing that tightening that we have on the yoke. Yeah, you slash one of them, just slash the paper all through. It will be easier for you to work with it like that. Then you're now going to place it on the other one, matching it up on the shoulder line, yeah, and then you tape it down. After that, you're going to blend in your shoulder slope and then you cut the pattern out. But if you're a beginner, I recommend that you blend in this sharp point, this curvy point, just blend it in for it to be smooth there. It will be easier for you to work with it like that later. Transferring the patterns to the fabric, and these are the fabrics I use for this dress. I use this pink Ankara, pink and black, and then I have this white Chantilly, soft white anyway. And this is what we have. It's not stretchy, it's actually quite stiff, but I recommend you use those stretchy one for comfort. Do you understand? Then for the quantity, for the lace, you'll be needing nothing less than 1 yard, and then for the Ankara, you will need at least 2 yards for that, depending on your size anyway, and depending on how full you want that ruffle to be. Then I went ahead to fold my fabric for the skirt, and then what I have here would give me the hip circumference plus some extra allowance. I recommend that you do that too. Now I'll place the whole gown length on the down part plus 2 inches here. Then I'll mark the waistline on the top. But then what I did was, if her waist is 16, I'll mark 15 here. Do you understand what I did? Then this line you see will serve as the waist. From that waistline, we go down to the hip line, and then we also go down to the knee line. I'll go ahead and highlight these lines. That's the hip line and the knee line, so that we take our measurement according to those lines. On the waist, I'll be marking the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches side seam allowance. I am not doing any that for the skirt, but if you want to, please do. Then on the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Then the whole of what I have on the hip, I'm going to minus 1 inch and mark it on the knee. That is the hip circumference plus the 2 inches allowance. The whole of that, I minus 1 inch from that and mark that on the knee. And then I'm going to connect from the waist to the hip, and then from the hip to the knee. Now, whatever it is I have on the knee now, I'm going to take it all the way down. Yeah, that is that same 1 inch we minus from what we have on the hip. We are going to mark it all the way to the length of the skirt, and then we are going to connect it. And you see, yeah, it's the same measurement we have on the knee that we are taking down. And then we go ahead and cut it out, basically cutting it out on this side seam line, which is the measurement. Then after cutting this one out, I'll pin it down just to secure it on this side. Then I'll go ahead and fold another fabric for the back, which will be bigger than what I have on the front, because I will be doing open and close slit for the back. So yeah, I have to have it extra than what I have on the front. So after that, I'll just place the front on it, match it up on the down. That's the length, yeah. Then I'll pin it down like this. Then we go ahead and cut it out. But then we are supposed to contour the center back too, the same way we did for the top part. So to do that now, what I'm going to do is to highlight the center back. You see that there is an extra fabric on the center back for that open and close slit I talked about, yeah. So I just highlight the center back following the center front of the skirt. Do you understand? And then also the waistline for the top. And then once that is done, I'm going to take it up like this, since I already have the line. Then I'll measure down from the waist down to the hip, yeah. Then from the center back, I'll come into that same value I used to contour the center back for the top part. You remember that, yeah? And then once you're done with doing that, you're going to place it back down on that point. Then you're going to replace that same thing you used to contour the center back, the waistline on the center back. You replace it here, and then also connect it to the hip line or blend it into the hip line, just like this. Then we go ahead and cut it out. Let's just cut it out on the side seam, because I almost forgot a lot of things on this skirt pattern, but thank God I remembered all of them on time before it was too late. So after cutting it out on the side seam, the next thing now is to highlight that same center back again down because of the slit. You take that to where you want your slit to start, and then I'm going to measure from that hip line down to where I want the slit to be, yeah, which I recommend you do nothing less than 7 inches, depending on how tight your skirt is. The tighter your skirt, the higher your slit, so that you'll be comfortable and you walk properly with your skirt. Then I'll be adding allowance of about half inch on that point where the slit will start, 1 inch on the center on the hip, and then 1 inch also on the waistline, and connect it like this. Then I'm going to blend it in on this point, and yeah, that is how the open and close slit comes about. So yeah, I used about 3 inches as the width for this. You can do 3.5 depending on what you want, yeah. And then we're going to cut the rest of the pattern out. And you see that I forgot this. See that I forgot this. You are taking that out on the zipper allowance just so it's contoured as we want it, yeah. And then after this one, you're going to transfer your the top pattern to the fabric. We got the lining for all of them, and in the next one we'll be putting all of this together. And I hope I see you on that one.